First, I thank you personally for joining up with me to co-sponsor this motion. In fact, it was your idea, and we have brought the motion to this House, which has received acclaim without any single dissent. It means, Madam Speaker, that senators in this august House are fully aware and fully conscious of the plight of the Kenyan farmer, particularly the maize farmer. And the confidence that this House enjoys, Madam Speaker, will require that the 9 members of this committee will have to burn the midnight oil. We urge the Speaker and the clerk to give the committee competent clerks, competent researchers who can be able to look at policy papers in terms of how to manage subsidies in the sector, policy papers on marketing the produce in the sector, policy papers on how to finance the farmer, and above all, Madam Speaker, the plight of the farmer. Farmers have, in the quest to feed this nation, ended up paying a heavy price. They are auctioned, not because they have recklessly spent the money borrowed, but because they have borrowed money, put in the soil, grown the crop, delivered to serious boards, and not paid. Then they are auctioned. Farmers who, Madam Speaker, are unable to take their children to school, they are unable to lead a barely average life simply because they are not able to get just returns on their produce. Madam Speaker, it begs a serious question. In this country, 75% of the workforce of Kenya is in the agricultural sector. Surely, if we want to create jobs and sustain jobs and improve livelihoods, how can you ignore a sector that employs 75% of your workforce? These are the serious questions that we have to ask ourselves. And above all, Madam Speaker, the point that the distinguished senator for West Pokot has said, why would we want to allow maize from our neighbors, which is not even allowed in the East African Protocol, to come and fill up our galleries when the manner in which they grow their maize, the manner in which they harvest, the post-harvest handling is not the same as ours? And you go to Kitale, you go to Eldoret, you go to Bungoma, maize is flowing in from neighboring countries. You go to the coast region, Loitoktok area, maize is flowing in from the neighboring countries. This kind of convoluted, corrupt practices, Madam Speaker, must be brought to an end. Madam Speaker, as a committee, we are going to carry heavy expectations of our colleagues in this House and the people we represent, because out there, people want to see results and solutions. We must come up with recommendations, including but not limited to a possible legislation to streamline subsidy management, to streamline the workings of the cereals boards, AFC. These are public entities that enjoy public funds. Yet, Madam Speaker, briefcase owners walk into AFC. AFC was meant to give money to farmers for farming. But the briefcase traders go to AFC and take loans to hawk maize around. They're the ones who are bringing maize from our neighbors. They're the ones pretending to be delivering maize grown on 800 acres in my county, which does not exist. Madam Speaker, I do hope that we are going as a committee to breathe a new life in the farmer. I stop in your county, Eldoret, Madam Speaker, and you talk to farmers. There is an old man called Sile. He's a farmer somewhere called Cheplaskei. I sat with him to have a cup of tea in Eldoret, and I saw tears blinking in his eyes. And he told me, what do I do? I have been a farmer all my life. I borrowed money. I can't pay. I am now being foreclosed. Not because I'm lazy, not because I'm reckless, not because I've misspent the money. I have sunk the money in the soil. I've produced food for Kenyans. I've delivered the food. Nobody's paying me. That is the story of the Kenyan farmer. And Madam Speaker, I want us to take this very seriously, because if we can streamline the maize sector, streamline the sugar sector, like Orengo says, Senator Orengo says, the tea and dairy sector is relatively stable, but it also needs to be streamlined. This country is wealthy. This country can improve the lives of its people if we really care. Finally, Madam Speaker, we must also look at, whenever there is a subsidy, is it the issue of the Minister for Finance just issuing gazette notices for every Tom, Dick, and Harry to now bring maize? In fact, I'm told, whenever those gazette notices are issued, maize ships are already docked in Mombasa. They all manage this very well. If there's a shortage of maize, the area that should be concerned about this is Cereals Board. They are the ones who manage our strategic grain reserves. They are the ones who should tell the government, our SGR has gone solo, Treasury, give us money, we import maize as Cereals Board. If they make any profit, and they shouldn't, because they should import maize, they should be given a duty-free status, because that is going to feed the people of this country. We must also look at this. Madam Speaker, I congratulate all the members for the positive comments they have made about the motion, for the full support they have given, and I assure the House on your behalf and my behalf as the sponsors of the motion that we shall live to the billing that we have come to seek in the House. I beg to move.
Honorable Senators, I now